Well, October is Dyslexia Awareness Month. A lot of people don't know what dyslexia is or what its symptoms are, and we hope to raise awareness. What is dyslexia? That's a great question. To start with, dyslexia is the most common learning disability. It's estimated that up to 90% of all learning disabilities include dyslexia. It's even estimated that up to 1 in 6 U.S. children have dyslexia. There's not a cure for dyslexia. People with dyslexia just have to learn coping strategies. To be more technical, dyslexia is a neurological disability that's caused by the way the brain is wired. It prevents children who have dyslexia don't have the ability to associate words with sounds or phonemes as well as children without dyslexia do. So they don't have the capability of phonological awareness that a child without dyslexia has. Well, I believe that reading is the foundation to education, and dyslexia causes it to be harder for some students to learn to read. When I first got into politics, I served on a school board, and I saw how many of our children had trouble reading. And also, my wife is a special education teacher, and she's studied dyslexia. And I don't feel like that students are always getting the research-based help that they need. And I think we're doing an injustice to our students when we don't give them the help they need to learn that most basic foundational element of education, of reading. So as a member of the Arkansas legislature, I sponsored a bill to establish our dyslexia law in Arkansas. And we passed the law, and then we found out that our school systems weren't equipped to help implement the law. So there's been a lot of research on dyslexia, on how to diagnose it, but there's not nearly as much research and practical knowledge on how to give the instruction to the students and to provide the interventions that they need so that they can overcome this disability. Well, as a member of Congress, the biggest thing I've done to help address dyslexia issues is be a co-sponsor of the READ Act, which we passed out of the House. It was such a good bill, it actually passed on a voice vote. It went through our science committee that I serve on, so I was able to work on that bill. But also to raise awareness, I'm a member of the Dyslexia Caucus. I've given speeches on the floor to bring awareness to dyslexia. And also, I'm pleased to announce I'm hosting a conference on dyslexia in March back in Arkansas so that we can help bring some of this research to the forefront so that we can allow a forum for people to discuss the issues of implementing the interventions more properly. Well, should it pass the Senate and be signed into law, what it would do would direct the National Science Foundation to spend $5 million on dyslexia research, and a lot of that research is in the area of curricular development, of interventions, and of basically ways to help equip teachers in schools to provide the interventions that our children need. It doesn't raise any taxes, it doesn't cost any more, it just sets a priority for NSF on dyslexia research. When we look at what needs to be done and what we can do to help with dyslexia, it all is about appropriate methods and interventions and getting the right research done, which the READ Act would help to strengthen the research on what the appropriate interventions are. I know that my wife has personal experience working with dyslexic children. One young lady was in a cycle of illiteracy, if you will, and but my wife could tell she was bright, and she was able to give her the appropriate instruction and appropriate interventions to help her with the dyslexia, and she's doing great now in school. And not just my wife, but a lot of people who have worked with dyslexic children, they need more training, they need more support, they need to understand the best interventions and how to get those implemented. It's almost like we know If you want to make a comparison, it'd be like if you had a disease that you knew what the best treatment was for that disease, but you weren't able to deliver that treatment to the people with the injury or the disease. We've got to streamline that method of getting those appropriate research-based methods in the classroom and delivered to these children so we can help them with a disability and really release their ability to be all they can be from an educational standpoint.